podcast hosting platform. Podhome offers unlimited episodes and podcasts, and unlimited use of Podhome AI, which generates transcripts, clips, chapters, title suggestions, show notes, and much more. And all of that for just $15.99 a month or $185 per year. That's a steal. So go to podhome.fm and start your 30-day trial now. And enjoy the show with Joe.
Transmitting live from the Asylum Studios, deep in the bowels of Southwest Texas. It's the Joe Rooz Show. The show where we talk about anything and everything. Where nothing is sacred, nothing is watered down, and nothing is PC.
All righty. Well, hey, folks, this is Joe Rooz, and it is great to be with you guys once again, transmitting live from the Asylum, and, of course, doing the very best we can to bring you the best quality talk radio we could muster without all the bluster. Welcome to the show, folks. I got the peanut gallery over here, mimicking or miming, whatever you want to call it, what I'm talking about over here. But joining us from the People's Republic of Washington State is Wayne Rankin, our expert on practical preparedness. He is joining us today for this Wednesday with Wayne session of the Joe Rooz Show. Wayne, great to have you here. How's it going, brother?
Not to be confused with Marcel, the great mime. Do you know he was a Holocaust survivor?
Really?
Yes.
Did not know that. That's fascinating.
I like to read. I like to read and stuff like that. So if you know, he was one of the famous mimes. I guess he didn't say much. So,
you know what? You got to be quick with Wayne because sometimes he'll throw something like that past you. You won't even notice it's there.
Yeah, just call me Goose Gossage of the one-liners back there. Man.
There
I'm the closer. The old Goose. Remember him?
Yes, I do.
Him. Yes.
I have a picture with him and an autograph with him from when I was I think I was 7 or 8 years old. My dad
was he with the Yanks?
He was with the Yankees. Yeah. My dad used to drive a cab on as a second gig, and he picked up the bullpen coach or the bullpen pitcher or something like that for the Yankees that year. And it was a long trip, and they got to talking, and somehow, some way, they exchanged phone numbers. And the guy told my dad, the next time you're up for a game, just let me know. Give me a call, and I'll get you into the clubhouse. So here's my dad dragging me to a Yankees game. I'm a Mets fan at 7 years old, and here's Dad dragging me into the into Yankee Stadium, into the clubhouse. And I met some of the great ones, man. I met Phil Rizzuto. I met Bill White. I met Craig Nettles, Bucky Dent, Billy Martin. Was
Reggie with them?
Reggie, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So look at this, Joe. You got into that to the greatest sports icon team in American history. Yeah. The Cowboys can boast, and the Patriots or Celtics. The Yankees are the Midas standard of American sports history, no matter what you say.
Yeah.
The Yankees are the Yankees. Hate or love them, damn Yankees. But you have to admit, 26 World Series or something crazy like that. But just the gold standard that they had. And stuff I read in like old Steinbrenner, he didn't have beards, not allowed long hair. Wow.
You couldn't have any facial hair. You couldn't have long hair. You had
earrings.
Very, very strict.
You know what? I respect that. I guess, you know what? He ran a tight ship and he won championships. You have to admit that. He won championships. So, well, cool.
He also had the bankroll to really pad the team there, buddy. He bought himself some championships.
Don't they all nowadays? So yeah, Joe, we just celebrated 250.
We certainly did, brother. So
we're still here.
We are still here, but I understand that things are not so rosy and bright.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I'm working on something here really quick. Give me 1 second here. So Wayne, why don't you filibuster here for me while I do this? So
I got a good one, Joe. Kind of perspective, like everybody had where they're going. We don't get invited to anything. It's kind of weird. I guess when all your friends are almost 75, 80, and their wives are almost 75, 80, and you show up with a 40-year-old wife, it doesn't go over well.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm not trying to toot my horn or anything like that, but it's like it can be a deal breaker for a lot of people. So we keep our distance. But so we had a choice: go downtown. We live in the capital city, and watch the normal stuff and everything. And we said, nah, let's go out to the ocean and do a 2-day, 3-day fishing trip. First day she smoked it. Second day the boat kind of pooped out. But I got some. I'll put it this way, Joe. Traffic downtown, or sitting on a coastal Hemingway or whatever. I don't know my painters, whoever they are, the greatest painters. But I don't think Picasso did that stuff. But picture the most picturesque setting with fog and bald eagles flying everywhere. They're coming down and getting fish from the water. They're fighting over salmon carcasses that were floating in because the fishermen would throw them in the water because they carve everything up and they have their docks and they'll toss them out there for the other fish to feed on. Well, some of them floated in from the tide, and man, I counted 7 bald eagles, and the other ones, I guess, are golden eagles. And I got a picture. I got some film of one of those, but just incredible to watch these things. I go, I think I got the better of the deal, actually.
Nice. Now you had sent me some video of is this from that trip?
That's from last Sunday.
All right, so let's pull up the
Monday. Excuse me, Sunday night we stayed there. Monday we went fishing. Yeah.
All right.
It was the whole weekend we were out there.
All right, let's pull up bald eagle.
Okay.
Oh, let's try that again. There you go.
You can see it's just the fog was coming in. On the other side is Canada. It's called the Strait of Juan de Fuca. So he was going on the other side as he dips down in. See him go for a little fish?
Yeah. Let's get to the next one.
Okay.
Do we see him catch the fish here, though?
No, actually, he's circling because there's a carcass down there. And you see the other one. That's the one that they call them the golden eagles. They haven't got the white on them or nothing, but they're big. They're big like, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. And there was one more, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like this one. I really trail him on this one. Then he meets up with another one in the air.
You know, I think you should give Spielberg a call. Nice. You should give
that.
Spielberg a call. Maybe he's looking for a cameraman.
Yeah, that was just a phone. Look at, is that cool? There was 7 at least bald eagles. Now I could be wrong. The golden eagles, I think, are just immature bald eagles. They get their white later on. Something of that nature. But those, if they're not, they're just as big as our birds, you know, our bald eagles. But I was just sitting there having a cold brew. The fog was a little not good for fishing so much, but they got all the radar and stuff for fishing, sonar and everything like that. But the sitting there going, I think no traffic, hearing those things squawking and other birds out there, and they go, you know, the boats and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's the atmosphere. That's the whole thing.
And you know what? I can't say it was free because we were paying for a room and everything like that, but it was worth it. It's totally worth it to spend a weekend with my wife. Yeah, I mean, what we paid, oh boy, most people pay that in the night in a hotel, the whole weekend.
If I was able to do something like that with you, I'd be happy to do that with you.
You got like I said, I got guys out here who want to take you fishing.
Take me bitching?
Fishing.
Okay.
I said, bring that New Yorker out, man. We'll teach him how to catch some salmon. So, yeah.
Well, I'm a Texan now, brother.
Okay, yeah. But she caught a...
Texian.
Okay,
actually.
She caught what they call a 15-pound Chinook or king salmon. Chinook's a native. And the thing about native, I'm part of a native tribe. My native buddy goes, call it Indian. You want to say native Indian? Sure, but we're Indian. The church out there north of where we're coming, the Skokomish Indian Church. I think I'll just use Indian. How's that? If they say Indian, we'll say Indian. And I'm adopted into one of the tribes in Wyoming. They all go like this. We're Indian. It's true. Would you like some Indian bread? I have an Indian necklace for your wife, you know.
And Indian food.
One thing I did tell my buddy, I said, man, my hair's getting shaggy. I got to get I got to find a barber. He goes, dude, I don't think that's really safe to say you need a barber on a reservation.
love that. That's great.
Yeah. Actually, that was my joke. That was my
really
joke.
Funny. That's really funny.
I said, Bud, I think it's too safe to be on the reservation. I need a haircut. He goes, oh, you're pretty white too.
Watch what you say, buddy.
You might get your.
Speaking of haircuts,
Yes.
I have to ask before we do some of the housekeeping stuff. I got to ask you this. So when are we doing the Peter Gabriel look?
August 1st. I set a date. I circled a date. August 1st. Because I got to get through some social stuff first, and I got to get through some doctor stuff. So I go in for my medical stuff in August. And the wife says, I like it. She says, keep this here. She says she's going to love the goatee. She said, bald head. And I showed her pictures of me bald when I had my cancer. She goes, looks great. And so,
you have a good melon for it.
Yeah, I do. I was at church when I was going through chemo. A guy named Harry. He goes, wait, you look pretty good bald. I go, thanks, Harry.
You don't have
what I got right now.
I mean, from what I could see, you don't look like you have any dents or dings or anything like that.
It's kind of out of Uncle Fester mold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much
Yul
perfect.
Brynner, Uncle Fester. I got joked about both of them. I go, there's nothing, no craters, no scars from rocks or anything like that up there. So, yeah.
There you go. I had a buddy of mine that I used to work with back in New York. He was shaved his head. He didn't need to, but he did. Mm-hmm. And it was the funniest thing. We were looking at him one day because he was sitting in the front seat. We were in the back, and we were driving up to one of our posts, mm-hmm. and we were looking at him, and my partner, and we were like, we noticed he had like a concave little indentation in the side of his head.
Right.
So me being me, I had to ask him. I said, "Hey, so what happened?" And he goes, "Louisville Slugger."
There you go.
I'm like, bull crap. That's not a Louisville Slugger. He goes, yeah, watch. We got out. When we got to our post, it goes into the back of the truck, and he pulls out a Louisville Slugger baseball bat, and he goes, "Here, look, line it up. You'll see." And I was like, "Well, I'll be damned."
We got a live presentation of this here. At least I don't have like the state of Florida, like Mikhail Gorbachev.
Was it Florida? Or was it?
It was up for discussion. Up for discussion, but yeah. Okay. Florida.
I thought it might have been Ukraine. I don't know.
Maybe it's Ukraine. But hey, the guy wore it well, though, didn't he?
Yeah, sure did.
He really did, man.
Sure did.
He didn't know he was getting tats, at the time. So he was starting the precedence in Russia. So give me the Gorbachev. Another Gorbachev.
Perfect. All right, let's do some housekeeping stuff here, and then we'll continue on here because you did also send some great video of some stuff going on over at the farm. So I want to make sure we get into that, and we have listener questions that were sent in during the course of the last week that we're going to put up on the screen, and you can tackle them. And we'll get started here. Let's take care of the housekeeping. So, folks, if you would, please head over to our website, joerooz.com. That's joerooz.com. When you get over there, please look for that contact form. It's hidden in the upper right corner. Open the thing up. Send us over a message. Let us know whatever's on your heart, whatever's on your mind, any questions, comments, cares, or concerns that you might have. Maybe you have a complaint. You shouldn't, but you might. You could send that over to us, or maybe you have a suggestion you'd like us to cover a particular topic on the show one night, or maybe a particular guest you'd like us to try to get. Let us know. We would love to hear from you guys, so please send that over to us. We would appreciate that. Also, if you don't want to use the web form, totally fine. Understand that completely. You can always email it to us directly at info@joerooz.com. That's joerooz.com. And then also, you can leave a comment down below if you're watching on Rumble or on YouTube. Love to hear from you guys there as well. We really appreciate that. Also, if you would, please don't forget that this is a live show, weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, we have our Sunday Bible study show every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Central Time. So plenty of things to watch, plenty of things to get caught up on. And we would love to have you follow the show. So you can do that very easily by going over to Rumble at rumble.com/Joe Rooz. Or if you want to follow us on YouTube, you can do it on YouTube as well. You can do it on both. We'd appreciate that. At youtube.com/Joe Rooz. And we would love to have you join us along the way. Also, audio is streaming live across our website. And, of course, all of the modern Podcast 2.0 apps like Podhome and Podcast Guru, Fountain.fm, and many, many, many more. Plenty of ways to check us out. Also, folks, remember to like, subscribe, and share the show with your friends, your family, and your followers. That way you help us to spread the good news of this show. All right? Wayne, Let's get to it, buddy. What do you got for us today?
Well, Joe, we're on the farm here. We got a lot of stuff in transition. Transition means garden's starting to sprout. I got to redo my beets. I'll explain that. My beet seeds. I'm kind of questionable about the seeds nowadays. Okay, because in my past I've just usually get a 90%, crop coming up. But right now, I don't know how many 100 beets I planted. I'm not seeing 20 right now. So I'm going to have to replant my beets. It's probably the seeds. It really probably is the seeds. But my potatoes kicking, reds. I do golden. I'm not big on russets. They're a little starchy, and starch turns to sugar, and sugar doesn't do me good. So I got goldens and reds. Potatoes are looking great. So we're kind of in transition. She's picking raspberries right now. Okay. So she got a gallon of raspberries. But we have blackberries. I'm going to show, like I said, I do promise. We're trying to, in transition, we don't right now have time for me to stand there with the camera and her to do something, vice versa. We're going to get stuff caught up, and then we're going to do a pictorial, a videography, nice. Or whatever you want to call it. And I think one of the shows is going to be almost video. Okay.
Perfect. Why don't you get a tripod?
I got it. I got the tripod. Yeah.
You have one with a remote?
No.
Okay, because I have one that it's a pretty decent tripod, and it comes with a Bluetooth remote that you can hook up to your phone. Okay. So you just mount your phone on that thing. You have the Bluetooth controller, and you can control the zoom, the zoom in, the zoom out, and all that great stuff. Okay. So it make it easier for you guys to do that. Both of you on camera. Yeah, we're both pretty decent cameramen, but we will do that one of those like the timer. We do have a timer we can do. Yeah. And it counts. So I said, then we can both be together like, hey, Rosanna, take a look at this. Describe what you're doing here, both side by side. But we're in a transition in our lives, a lot of different things medically for me, nothing to talk about. But like, we've got to finish painting the house, which is monumental. It's massive. The house is painted. 10, 12 cords of wood will finally be done. That's done. The garden's planted. It needs to be reconditioned. And that's why I get on the video and show things of the progress and the highs and the lows of what's not working, what is really working. I've already got lettuce I'm picking. I'm replanting some spinach. The cabbage are going to be like bowling ball sizes. We love cabbage. Me and her love cabbage with some olive oil with some garlic and throw some spinach in that. Nice. If you know how to do it, we actually were doing it in the wintertime for dessert. Spinach and a little. She goes, I'm liking this, For dessert? How'd you serve it for dessert?
Well, it just tasted so good. It was like the little bit of cabbage, but the fresh spinach with butter, hot butter with some garlic. But when you hit it's like it has a different sweetness to it because butter does. If you get to, certain butter has a little bit of sugar in it and salted butter, and it's like it was one of those things during the winter. It was like soup in the winter. It was like a nice snack. She was, well, let's run out of it, keep the spinach going, and we were doing that, and it's showing. This girl's dropping sizes. I love it. She says she's on a motivational speaking tour here. She is totally serious, and it's like no, we're both working on that because she sees me going through my health struggles, and and that's another thing, getting things caught up, because I'll be seeing a surgeon in August and getting this stuff for the next 2 weeks of July. We're trying to round up the farm, literally like a roundup, and get everything maintained to where you have a place that all you need is maintenance. I will never have to paint the house again. I won't have to cut wood for 6 or 7 years. Nice. Okay, I'll be past 70 the next time I'll pay some kids to do it, pay some other people to do it or something like that. Because I got some buddies that, we'll take these down in 2 years and here's another 5 cords. So yeah, I literally have about 15 years of wood set up for me, and I got really good friends in the network. It's great to have the network. Sure. As I said a few shows back, get a network. And I'm going to talk about that before the show is over, who I have. I'm not going to say vague stuff. I'm now going to give you my roster, okay, of who I have and what they do.
The Wayne shout out.
Darn right, man. Darn right. And so preparedness, we're kind of like, and I mentioned to you and some other friends, people get that word preparedness of, getting food, stocking food, and getting rice and beans and this and this. I'm more into, because I can do this, homesteading, cropping, farming, kind of a hybrid of all of those. Preparing is, you can prepare, Joe, you got to prepare. You got to go get dog food and you put it in the shelves or whatever for the puppies. And You got to get stuff taken care of there. You got to, okay, you got older dogs, so you got to get the medicine for the next few weeks. That's preparedness. That's not the same word. It's out of the same topic. Everything you can be prepared, or you can be a slouch and just don't do nothing, and you end up like a lot of people I know. Help, Wayne, help me, man. I need your help. And I'm not kidding you, Joe. I'm not kidding you.
I know you're not.
I told you a month ago, didn't I? Didn't I say a month ago I could help you? Well, I was playing Call of Duty 72 hours straight, and so I'm serious, man. It's like Rosanna got a call today, and here's a good one, and this is part of the show. I like to introduce this to it. She gets a call. She's selling some eggs because the eggs are doing good because a few shows back again, I know how to prepare my birds or chickens year round. If it's wintertime, I'm set them up. They're still laying eggs where our friends are calling us for eggs who have chickens. It's a long story. I'm going to do a little videography of it.
A tutorial.
Pictorial videography of this is what we do. If you want to have birds, because some people can get birds in cities around the country. It's like Seattle, you can have 3 hens. No roosters allowed. But you have to have qualifications and limitations and stuff like that. Go ahead, get 3 hens if you like 3 solid eggs a day, or by the end of the week you get your own dozen, And so we got 12 dozen right now, but it's summertime. But in the wintertime, as I explained, it's the ground and digging up the ground and coverings and having worms and grubs and bugs and stuff coming up, and not rely so much on feed and the lighting and doing the dirt just right and throwing. Like I said, we work at the food bank at church, and people are throwing away. They don't take the lettuce; it's a little soggy. The birds don't care. Lettuces and greens. Nothing in the world will eat onions. Do you know that pigs won't eat onions? They
really?
Won't. They don't. If they do, I've never seen them. They kind of shy away from. There's some acid in there that's so strong, and so we'll take the breads that are.
I learned recently though you're not supposed to give dogs onions either.
No,
which I did not know that.
Onions are just, I think, just for humans practically. I've never seen anything in the animal kingdom, and I've had what we call compost piles, and I have a compost pile in there outside. And so what I'm going to do, Joe, here by the end of the summer, my compost, coffee grounds, and this certain vegetables that are rotten, and this almost like a tea or this percolating there all summer. Gather it all up and pound that thing over, put a tarp over it in wintertime, just like the magician, yank that thing off. All right, kids, it's yours all winter. And they will dig out of that all winter long. And that does attract bugs in the winter. They'll burrow in there underneath. These birds know how to scratch. These are scratching birds. So preparedness, I'm preparing my birds for the wintertime. And so, but someone called Rosanna on, do you have eggs? I'd like to discuss this. Okay. Do you have eggs? She goes, yeah, I have eggs. She goes, do you have eggs that hatch? She goes, well, the eggs I have are, $5 a dozen, etc. Do you have eggs that hatch? Because I want to buy some. She goes, I'd have to go get the next couple of days worth because, here we go, Joe. She's talking to the lady, once you wash the egg, God's good. Mama chicken, when she lays that egg, she puts a film around that, Joe. It's like a protective from bacteria, etc. So you can take her egg and put it in your egg carton in room temperature, okay? And let's say you get your 12. You can put it in the incubator because you haven't washed them. Once you wash that protective film that God gives this mama hen, it's now evaporated that protection. And if it gets cold, it's not going to, he's laid his seed in there, but it's not going to fertilize. Interesting, isn't it?
That's fascinating. I never knew that.
Rosanna, she looks this stuff up. As my doctor talked to her a few weeks ago, your wife is very cerebral. I had to look it up. It says, if someone calls your wife cerebral, he's calling her intelligent. So that was a question on Google. So if someone's calling your wife this, it's what he's saying to her, the doctor.
Right, yeah.
He said, but he goes, very intelligent. I go, it's intelligent, but practical. She grew up on a farm, so her researching that. So she goes, yeah, 25 dozen for 12, which is not, that's 2.5. You're going to get birds from this. And she hangs up. She goes, she didn't ask what kind of breed they were. So we have what they call French breeds, and they look like a foghorn leghorn, the big old white ones. Those.
Okay.
I'll say, boy, big old foghorn, man. Was he white? He was white, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. they look like him. Well, I have to look him up, Joe.
I'm looking him up right now.
Please do. And so I forgot my handout. Was it Warner Brothers? Yeah, man. I got Warner Brothers Greatest Hits, by the way. Yosemite Sam, my hero. And so, back your varmint. So these birds, Joe, were breeded so they're a foghorn leghorn, that they're meatier, so you can really get the meat off of them, and they lay great eggs. Because before, you got these ones that all they do is get fat and don't lay eggs. And I don't really like that, because you got to pump these guys full of food, and that's not natural for me. Or you got guys that are skinny hens that just lay eggs. These guys, the hens, like I said, I got a new vacuum packer, so we're going to I'm going to in the fall raise me another dozen or more for the pot. I might even put those online, like 25. There he is. That looks like my rooster. You know what his name is? Cogburn.
Cogburn.
Yeah, I named him Cogburn the first. Right?
Beautiful.
His name's Cogburn. Rosanna loved it because she loves the newer version, the one with Jeff Bridges, True Grit. She likes that one better because she's not that generation.
Okay.
She's not. Her and John Wayne is like, it's old stuff to her, you know. But so we've even taken to the farm. What do we want to do, Joe, to make our farm efficient, productive, etc.? These guys don't eat like the big red ones, the big, what they call it, Rhode Island Reds. Very big birds, eat a lot, crap a lot, and lay an egg. There's no meat on them, and they do eat a lot. These guys, and they don't scratch like these guys do. The French breeds. French breeds love to scratch, and they produce eggs constantly, and they're getting fat. So I did process some extra hens and a couple. These roosters. Actually, French breeds roosters are actually a item that are a hot item because people, you know, you can't keep too many roosters on a farm. We only have one. So if yours doesn't make it, you go to another farm and get one. We had to pay $30 for Cogburn. So, but he's already spread his seed, and we got a nice 12 more. We're going to end up at about 20, but we've lost about 3 or 4 through attrition this year from the winter. So we'll be back like to under 20 or so. But we decided let's get a bird that's productive, okay, for meat and eggs, and that we don't have to kill ourselves with store-bought feed. And we got 2 bags. The 2 bags are going to last for a long time, right. And that are they're not so docile. They're just really great birds to be around, and they love being a chicken. And we got the 12. We're moving into the hen house, and they're about the size of 2 fists right now, maybe a fist and a half. And nature, God does it again. For some reason, I read that most hens will lay the eggs. Mm-hmm. You get your roosters, but just because, I don't call it Mother Nature. I call it God, the Lord. God is good how he does stuff. And the hens will produce way more hens than they will roosters because it's just how it works.
All right. Yeah.
So we'll get 12. I think we got 2 roosters, she said, out of there. Because, well, they can go in the pot, or I'll put them online for $20, $30, and they'll sell. So, that pays for 3 bags of feed. One rooster was. So it's one of those things, even if I have the big nest egg or whatever stuff, I'm still going to do this. And I still would sell my birds and buy the feed with the bird money, the feed money would become the bird money. So it's not like, do I need it or have it? Do I don't? I guess, we had to pay for stuff like that. But it's one of those things. So I really learned something from her today. They put a film on the egg, the hens do.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I didn't know that.
Birds. Yeah. It's like a vitamin, and don't quote me, but there's a vitamin and nutrients and stuff that actually, another thing in there, when baby chick cracks, he's got enough feed in from his egg stuff sack for 24 to 36 hours.
Interesting.
We got to give him some water, but he's still got some moisture going. So when he cracks out of his egg, because it's a wonderful thing. Watching those little peepers come out. I'm 65 and I still watch little birds. Because Joe, I love life.
No, I get you life. Too, because
baby puppies, come on, baby puppies, Joe.
I know. I used to have when my kids were little, we had finches. We had zebra finches in the house.
Yeah.
And we bought a male. His name was Woody. Okay. Just saying. Mm-hmm. And he was quite active. That's why we called him Woody. And he gave us, I think 5, 10, about 25 eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And of the 25, 15 of them actually survived and hatched.
Wow.
And it was amazing. Not all at once. It was like
Was
5.
there a market for them? Did you sell them? Or
yeah, we ended up selling them out, but it was like maybe 4 or 5 at a time. You know, it wasn't like all at once. But it was the most incredible thing to sit there, especially with the kids, because it became a teaching moment.
Right.
You know, we were able to look and get up on the stool and look in the cage, and you see the nest, and you see all the little hatchlings coming around.
Yeah.
And it was really a great experience. So I know what you're saying too. And you know, and I love my animals. I love my dogs. You know that they're my babies.
Right. Yeah.
And when you said put them in the pot or sell them, I was like, please sell them. Don't cook them.
Yeah, well, you know.
No, I know.
And I had we actually one time had 12 roosters. This was before. Well, what had happened 2 years ago? When was the influenza bird thing, chicken flu thing?
Oh yeah, the bird flu when they were culling all these birds.
100 million.
Yeah,
that's 1/3 of the population of America. 100 million birds were destroyed under Biden. Don't know why. Just told it was happening. Probably some foreign country owned a place anyhow, which is happening all the time now.
Yeah.
The 3rd biggest meat producer in the United States is from Brazil.
That's I read that too. Yeah.
So Wayne's gonna have his own farm, and so the demand for birds went way up the list, and so talk about roosters getting saved, but they got the governor's call from the governor's office. What would they call it? The old black and white films, James Cagney or whatever. They show the phone there. Is that the governor calling?
The stay of execution.
Stay of execution. The governor would call. She'd go, "Oh, I just got a call. They want 3 roosters." Boys out. Because I talked to them, I go, "Boys, we're going in a different direction. You're eating a lot of food, and I don't see eggs coming out." So they all got to
horrible.
They all got to stay of execution, Joe. Because I got a great marketing. She knows advertising. She knows admin very well. Yeah. She had her own business. So this lady made a couple $1,000s on chickens during this whole thing. You don't make nothing. $5. I mean, back in my day, I sold 10 birds for $25 back, 15 years ago. So yeah, there's a market out there. So she did that and bought a boat motor for her boat. So yeah, so
practical advice here, folks. Practical advice.
So what you do with it? She went to the salon. Rosanna bought a motor for her boat. So
you should have Rosanna. You should have Rosanna do the show.
If we could open her up, she is cerebral, and if she talked about anything on marketing, advertising, business stuff like that, but if she would talk about the stuff she knows about bakery, that's off of our charts, like the stuff we talked about yeast.
Yeah,
you had a little talk with her. I go, I think we got to put something over the camera or over the screen, not the camera, so she can look in the camera but not see the screen, because she gets stage fright. I don't know why. It's like she's.
Yeah, I remember when she did the show with us that one time, and it was.
She was sitting on a thermometer. I tell you, man.
Relax, take a breath.
Even the thing with the when she was doing the thing we see on the bees, it was natural. But when I said, "Okay, now can you finish?" And this is Rosanna for the Joe Rooz Show. The Rooz Show, Joe Rooz. I said, "Dear, forget that you're on the show."
How many takes did it take?
3 or 4. But
you didn't even send it to me.
No, because there's 6 of them there, or 5 of them, whatever it was. I went to each one. I go, I don't know which one to send them now.
And he forgot to send it over.
No, it's not that. It's just there were so many of them, and which one is this? I give up. Yeah, and so, but we'll get her a nice little bumper. And this is I said, "You're talking to me," so letting her know that she was mentioning your show, put her in a. Dear, no one's watching yet. Okay, but
no one's watching anyway.
No, that's going to change. We got some ideas. That's going to be changing.
No, we're good.
No, and so, but when she looks at, when she's talking to these bees, she's what they call apprentice beekeeper, and master beekeeper, I think, is the real word. But once you reach apprentice, you can see how she's doing with her hives. because the 2 people we know, all their hives died over the winter. All 3 of hers survived.
Wow,
what is she
awesome.
doing right? Why are our birds putting out eggs during the winter? I got someone that she knows.
Why are they thriving? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's good at this. You know, she knows what she's doing. She researches stuff. And here's the backline. She grew up on her farm ranch. She says there's nothing more to learn. You learn about sex education at 2 years old. What are the puppies doing? What are the dogs doing? What are the horses doing? What are the cows doing? What are the chickens doing?
The birds and the bees.
Birds and the bees.
There you go. Birds and bees.
In fact, she says, I do the birds and the bees on the farm. She does the chickens and the bees. She does the birds and the bees. So I go, yeah, I do the garden. And so, but the thing is, she knows how to farm because she said, yeah, you grew up really young in a farm. You learn life, reproduction, and death. So she had a story where, you know, she was the mom. Sure, she was a mom at 8 years old in the family for her single dad. And so she raised rabbits. And the younger ones thought they were eating chicken for years. She just didn't let them know. We had chickens on the farm, but the chickens had to lay the eggs. The rabbits, they don't lay eggs you can eat. Those are fake eggs. They lay real bunnies. Rabbits don't lay eggs. Sorry.
The Cadbury egg is not really. Yeah.
Sorry, Easter people. It's not even called Easter. It's Resurrection Day. So here's a young gal, I don't know, 10, 12, 13, very mature. She's raising the family at 13, 11, 12, 13, raising her family, her brothers and sisters. So, and the farm and the horses and etc. So she's learned, there's nothing like practical experience too. Learning stuff practically on a farm or a ranch and what have you. And so we're in a part of the country here, this part of the nation here. I'll finish the show. I see how much time I got left. The preparedness, and I'm talking to everybody here. I said, look, if we can get it down to people even in an apartment to, you know, get a little rainwater and I'm going to show them on one of my shows. I'm going to do a project on the video. I'm going to show everybody how to get this done. It's one of those little long, like little clay pots or square, but this is plastic. I've already got the dirt in it. I'm going to show everybody. I'm not sure what I'm going to be planting or replanting. I might try it with my spinach, or I might go with seed, or I might do some starts and say that goes right on your, I don't know how certain apartments are, if you're bottom floor, top floor, but you might have a shelf or you have a balcony. If you got a balcony, that's sweet. So you got a balcony. Now you've got something going. You can put a card table out there. You can put yourself 6, 8 plants out there just for the summertime.
You know, you would love to talk to my sister.
Okay.
My sister, she lives in Staten Island in New York, okay. And she lives in like a homeowners association type setup and whatnot.
Oh boy! So
the backyards are really, really small, but she has a deck, and because it's so small, it's leveled. Right. So on the top level of the deck, right outside her kitchen, her and her husband invested in some beautiful pots, and they've planted an herb garden all around the perimeter of her deck. Right. And she has everything that she needs. Good. All summer long. And she loves it. She sends me pictures of it all the time. She's very proud of her little garden there. And that's great. That's something that you can do. That's not a hard thing to do. It just takes a little time and effort in purchasing the pot, getting the right soil. And getting everything planted. Right. And then the maintenance of it, which isn't really hard, you know. You know, I always like this. I have a couple little those jugs that, you know, it's got a gooseneck on it, and I like doing that too for my greenhouse. But the rest is the hose. I got the hose, and so. But the gooseneck, that's rainwater that I got some receptacles in. So I dip it. We had some rain a couple of weeks ago, so my herbs are getting the rainwater. Okay, and my blueberry plants. Blueberries, they're not grow good up here. No matter, I've tried everything, but I got some basil going, some oregano, and some rosemary that's kicking. Okay, and I mean it's really growing high, so I'm going to cut it and let it start over again. And so Do you want me to roll the video with the bees?
Yeah, and we got some questions somebody was asking. You make the Alcoa presents. You make the call.
Well, we'll do this. We'll go through the videos of Rosanna with the bees. You can explain what's going. You can explain what's going on.
Right.
And then once we finish that, then we have listener questions for you, and then we'll wrap up from there.
I like it.
All right. So we got 10 minutes and 10 minutes. We're good.
I'll just talk after she's done because she spills it right out. I'll be messing it up. Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. This is Rosanna and her bees.
The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a side of this box, and I'm just going to check and see if there's any supercells. A supercell looks literally like a peanut, but it's to see if the queen is going to lay another queen so they could swarm.
I like the classical music in the background.
It's pretty heavy.
She researched it. It does calm them, she says.
I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like average frame protrusion out of the bottom. It doesn't look like there's any supercells, which is good. It means there's enough room for them all and they're happy. So I'm just going to close this back up and let them keep making me some honey.
There you go.
So now these are honeybees?
Yeah. I think they're Italian.
And
so those are 1, 2, 4 levels. So that top level one, that's going to be a big honey producer for us. That the first couple are for the bees to survive on. Then those next couple, that's you're going to be those little like those.
I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sugar water feeder. This is an external feeder. Normally, I mean, if it's spring and there's not a lot of honey and everything built out in the 2 deep frames, the tall ones, then I'll put an internal frame in there with about 2 quarts of sugar water. So they don't have to get it on the outside, mostly because the weather is colder. That's just my personal preference, but when it starts getting warmer and I have to take off all these supers, I don't want to take off all the supers all the time. So I'd rather just do an external little bit of sugar water.
And how long has she been doing this, bro?
This is year 3.
And I've checked the health of my hive and gave them what they needed for right now. So I'm done for the day on this hive.
So usually for beginners, don't take any honey till year 3. So first year, you got your first hive. This is coming from her. And take a lot of great classes. I mean, some of these classes, it's at the college, but it's not a college class. It's at the college. There's guys who have been doing this for 50 years, some of these old guys. And so they're great, and they're great. They're not a pretentious bunch. They love their trade, and they want to spread it more. They want more beekeepers out there. Because at least I'll put through Well,
I turned the sound off on this one so you can talk over it.
Okay, yeah, so those there, you can't really tell, but those are heavy. Those things are, that box, if she was to lift it, I don't know how many pounds. The last time we had honey, we had 36 quarts, Joe, of honey from from the 2 boxes or 2 hives that we had.
I just think it's amazing, though, that
6 years ago.
It's amazing that you can pull these things out, you can handle it like that, turn them all, and they don't swarm, they don't freak out or anything like that.
No, actually, see, she's got a little thing. It's a smoker. I might have the video where she does a smoker. The smoke gets them kind of calmed down, and she explained what the smoke does. I hope I sent it. Maybe I did. And because they know, they feel tension, and she's moving very slow, and she's got the music playing, but they understand that,
Oh, I see the smoke in the bottom.
There it is. There. So that she's telling you what the smoke's all about. She would say it's a calming effect. It gets them kind of going, like, is there a forest fire? Is there fire out there? And they want to protect the queen if they smell smoke. So they've got to put it in their brain to not get hostile towards anybody else. And so, yeah, those frames there, those are newer ones. And like I said, those two underneath are full. She said, oh my gosh. I mean, a frame full of honey, I don't know how many pounds it is, just the frame. And it's amazing how thick they get. They're touching each other inside the frames. They're so thick at times. I think she's going to pull another one out, and she's going to put a new one in. She puts a new one at the front line, or the front end, our front, looking at it. And then she'll take another one with the new box she's putting on. Because she's putting on a new super, she calls it, with nothing in it. So she'll take one that has honey already in it. So it's going to entice them to come up. If there's nothing up there already, if there's one that's full of like bees and honey, they're ready to go up. It makes it easier for them to, and the way that these bees transmit sonar, I don't know what the is it sonar or some sort of, whatever it is, how they communicate. It's unbelievable. They're incredible animals.
Yeah, there's your cat.
And there's Mr. Cat, Mr. Mittens. And so they're remarkable. They're just totally remarkable. Now, I've read this scientifically. If we take God out of the equation, they said if we lost every single bee on the planet, human existence would have about 10 to 12 years left.
Really? Something
like that, because they pollinate our food. I mean, all of our food, which now if they're not pollinating the grasses and some animals aren't eating it, and then the animals start, it's a whole, trickle down effect type thing. So, but she showed what she was doing on, and explaining on, just like I said, that white box there she is. She's putting one with bees in it that has one with no bees in it already. So there she goes. She's introducing that box. It's called a super with all empty frames. That right there. You see, Joe, it was empty and they're already going on it.
Yeah.
They're already attracted to it. So that attractant that she's putting in there will get them going. And you can't see behind me. If I'm looking at her, like behind me, we got an acre of nothing but dandelions and flowers and just incredible habitat back there. I don't cut it. So the neighbor moved in. Long story short, it's not a good story. He moved in from the city. He's got the lawn. He's got the sprinklers out there up in the mountains. He took everything from his suburb and put it to he's got a little chipping course thing. Golfers chip, right?
Yeah.
He's got a little chipping area there. Dude, he goes, aren't you going to mow your lawn? I go, now listen here. I was here 25 years ago. You weren't. I go, this is the mountains. He goes, that's bee habitat over there. I said,
I can imagine his reaction knowing that there are bees there.
Yeah, exactly. And so he'll be the first guy pounding on my door when everything goes south. And so, but the thing is, I go, no, that phenomenal habitat. Now here's another story. I bought these bees called mason bees. They were bought 3 years ago. And they live in almost look like one of those old German cuckoo clocks. They look like that, the shape of them.
Okay.
They're made out of cedar. Mason bees were here before most of the honeybees were. Most of them. And I'm not going with the millions of years. You're not going to get that going with me, okay? But they only live for 6 weeks. And they're already done. But what they do, they will do 250 mason bees, and they show different pictures, the work of 20,000 honeybees. So I have a mason bee hive out there. Cherry trees, I'm going to have to do some recon next year. The birds took all my cherries. I'm cutting the cherry tree down. I'm going to put these little CDs up and things. The cherry trees, the blossoms were incredible around the place. All the trees. I got Italian plums coming, Joe.
Nice.
I'm serious. These guys just radiated. So I got the neighbor, everybody out in Joe Rooz land. So Mr. Neighbor knocks on, hey, aren't you going to cut all your grass and make a putting green like I did? I'm not even far-fetched from that, okay? I go, no. I said, you know what? I'm getting Italian plums this year because my bees are doing the work, but because you've seen that lady, how much she puts into them, the love and dedication and the education. So she's educated, cerebral, and she knows how to take care of them so intense that it's like everything is really delicate with the bee environment. It really is. Or they'll swarm, something, makes them, get going. And so she knows what she's doing, and I commend her because the beekeepers, how is your hive? I lost all my hives. She goes, I got all 3 of mine. There must be a formula that she's doing right. And one of it is, Joe, education and preparedness. I know I'm probably beat that word to death, but she prepares herself different times of the year what she has to do with her bees. Now, come October, when Washington rains start right around hunting season, middle of October, she'll put these big, thick, they're black plastic, but they're thick like I'm going this thick, like styrofoam insulation around the whole nest for the winter.
Okay.
And she takes care of them, and she leaves a little opening in case sometimes wintertime if they want to send a few troopers out there to see but. She has it all set up for the winter, and they're taken care of. And before the winter, she gives them all kinds of other stuff besides. If she takes the honey this year, she'll put these things, these packs they put in. I forget what, like I said, it's her thing. It's a substitute for the honey, and so they can feed off it during the winter. So, hey, man, honey, and let's get back to preparedness. It's one of the top 10 must-have in a prepper list. Medicinal. Oh, I burnt my hand. What are we going to do? There's no pharmacy. They've closed all down. You can melt the honey, rub it on there with some baking soda. Honey and lemon. You got the sore throat. If you do have whiskey, great. If you don't, you got some tea. One of my favorite things is green tea, a little lemon juice. You can buy the bottle kind. It's too hard to keep fresh ones all the time. And honey. Honey, they've said they found honey in the pyramids for like 5,000-6,000 years ago.
Yeah,
I'll go back 5,000. I'll go back 5,000-6,000. Moses and everybody was back there. And so they actually buried the kings, or were they kings, pharaohs, queens, whatever.
Pharaohs, yeah. Same thing.
With honey. They would actually encase them in honey.
Yeah.
Some of them. I don't know which ones, which tribe, whoever they were. But they would encase them in honey as part of the embalming process after the embalming, because the stuff, it lasts. And so it's an incredible product. And it's definitely nature made. And there's another thing, Detective Joe, there's a lot of bogus honey out there, my friend. And I mean bogus, like those little honey bears. That's not all natural honey.
No,
people,
of course
not. There's a lot of, you read the stuff in there and read in the back, but Rosanna's natural honey. Oh yeah. That honey knows her honey. So, she does a really good job on it. But we just lived it, like I said, we this 4th of July, I kind of stepped out. Am I celebrating anything? Put a brand new flag up. Real nice, brand new American flag. Got a new one up. And I got my next flag. This one's going to stay down here until I find something to replace this one. But I have the Gaddison flag that's going next to my American flag. If people don't know, that's the one with the yellow one with the snake that they carried in the colonial wars with, watch the Patriot movie with Mel Gibson. But that was what they carried back in the
one that I have tattooed over here.
Joe, I got my last one before the show goes off. Looked it up. Colonel Stephen something Rankin fought with the colonial armies.
I don't even ask anymore. I just okay. You're like Alex Jones. Everybody in Alex Jones' family had something to do with something with Texas. So
he came down and fought with Sam Houston. He's got a memorial, huge marker out there, outside of San Antonio or there. Yeah. Stephen, I got the picture of it. So he came down here and he said, "Let's get revenge for the Alamo, man." So
I don't doubt you, brother. Hey, listen, we only have a few minutes left, and I'd like to get a couple of these questions in if we can.
Go. No,
so question number one from a listener named Bill. Bill asks, if someone is just getting started with preparedness and only has about $100 a month to spend, where should they begin? What's the smartest first investment?
Well, if we're going to go with like preparedness for foods, okay. Now, I would stay away from the dollar stores because I'll just use this as an example. On the back, you'd be shocked. It says product of China. Mm-hmm. These peaches are from China. They're cheap, and I got it, and I understand. Go with, Bill, start out with some dry goods. If you're going with the food, let's go $50 dry foods, $50 some batteries, candles, matches, flashlights, etc. That side, $50. $50 of food. I love split peas. I love beans. I love rice and regular beans. You've got an incredible, those peas, the rice, and the beans, those three alone, and then good old-fashioned bulk noodles. And I just go with elbow macaroni. It's just an easy one to cook. Spaghetti and anything like an elbow or the little spinny ones, or your common ones, something you would make macaroni and cheese with, and you could put anything. I just seen a great dish where he did split peas with the noodles. It was a great looking dish, and the guy said the peas are covering this, and the starches are covering and the carbs on this side. We're talking non-meat purchasing, okay? Non-meat dry goods. So got a good list, and I think I put them up before. It's like I said, so do 50-50. Try 50-50 or 75-25, Bill. Because like I said, you're going to do food. Get one things I would get, Bill, right off the bat, about $12. Depends on where you're at. A big jug of what those water cooler waters, Joe. The type you have at your office, and you turn it upside down. It's got the cap on it sealed. Put it in a closet. Put it in a closet, a dark area. And if you feel like it's been in there forever, you can go to Pool Supplies, or go online, go to Amazon, get the pills, the water purification pills, if you feel like you need to do that. But you got it sealed for time down the road. And Joe, if you're on a water system, you're gonna run out of water. You won't have the water. Don't worry about toilet water. You can be outside, and like I said, you got 5 gallons right there alone. And if you want to splurge a couple gallons for number 2, and you have to, you could do it that way. Or like I say go to Home Depot bucket and go buy one of those. Another one, Bill, is buy a little, buy a toilet seat. Get you a nice toilet seat with a Home Depot bucket and a $1 bag or whatever, and throw some dirt in there, and there you go. If you have to go number 2 and you want to save your water, because if you need to flush and if it's let's say your power company says, Joe, your neighborhood's going to be out 48 hours. There you go. You might want to go with the Home Depot bucket, because you're going to run out of, because you know how things can get with stores. That's for people who want to prepare a little stuff. But I would go, like I said, first purchase, get a big thing of water from, I don't like giving the names, but the stores you can go to. Starts with a W, and so those usually have them right when you first walk in. I'll guesstimate $12, 13, let's say $15 for 5 full gallons. I'm not big on buying a case of water with all those bottles all over the place, and you can just use a cup that way. So water, once you get your water out of the way, get a few, like I said, if you don't have candles, go get some candles. Candles, matches, then you go flashlight, battery, because at least with a candle, some of these things you go 6-8 hours of batteries, unless they got these new ones, the USB ones, okay?
Yep.
And the rest, dry goods, canned goods. Make sure it's not a product of China. Now, who sells them? That's where you got to look at. And there's some, like I said, some average grocery stores, your medium grocery stores, you can get a nice supply of things. Start small. So there we go.
All right, got time for one more question.
One more.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna make a good
Let me
answer.
see which one are we going to choose. Okay, we'll choose this one. This is from.
Did you like that answer, Joe?
That was good. Yeah, that was very good. Let's go to. Let's see what Ann has to say. You ready? Here's from Ann. Have you ever had to learn a lesson the hard way?
No. We had a storm of the century, 2012. 48 inches of snow. The whole region was out for 2 weeks. Let's do the split screen. Hysteria, mobs, rioting. Wayne's place. I'm cracking by the fire. Got food cooking off of it. Using my toilet because you know what? Snow melts. And so I had enough water for everything. I got these big, remember the old fad from the old turkey frying days? Everybody's doing these turkeys. Maybe you remember, Joe.
Oh, yes.
You get for like $25, you get the whole pan. It's like the pan is like, how many gallons, and you got the hook that I still have it, everything. I go get that, dude. I'm loading that supper up with a snow shovel on my wood stove. I do have a generator to run the freezers because I know, 4 hours a day for everything. Daylight, you don't need anything. Nighttime, I already have my batteries charged up, and I have a solar power generator. And so I have a wood stove. I'm cooking off the wood stove. But here's the other thing, Ann. I have a liquid propane stove. And what I mean by that, some people have electric. That's a little, do not get the glass tops, for one thing. And the old-fashioned little, like those little spiral metal ones. And then you got gas, which is natural gas. But your natural gas will be shut off because it's a company and it needs power to get to the house. But Wayne's thinking, I drilled a hole through the wall. I put a new adapter for LP, switched out the natural gas to called LP,
Liquid
Giggly
petroleum.
Bob. Yeah, Giggly Bob. And right through the wall, I got a 100-gallon tank of propane. Lasts me 6, 8, 12 months, whatever it is. So I'm cooking off my stove. Only thing I had to do, Mr. Joe, is strike it with my striker. You know how you click, click, click,
Yeah.
That's an electric clicker.
Right.
And I really didn't want to turn this. So I was cooking bread over there. I was,
Nice.
I had my own ice. I had beverages in the cooler from outside. No.
So you're the guy that everybody complains about until the stuff hits the fan.
Yeah.
And then they all come running. Hey, what do you got?
Yeah.
Buddy? All right.
I have a saying, what I have is none of your business.
Perfect.
All
right.
But see how easy that was, though? If it was a situation, and if it's water, if you're not flooded, get as many buckets out as you can.
Yeah.
Get that downspout, and when I get to the Joe Rooz estate here, I'm gonna modify that. You're gonna have 50-gallon barrels there for. All you're gonna do is, Joe, is take it and switch it, and there you go. All right.
Wonderful. We'll get all that stuff squared away. Well, we got to start wrapping it up here, buddy. Yeah. So let's.
I want a real challenge, Joe. I want a nuke. Bring me a nuke on.
Oh, listen, I have several challenges here for you when you get here. Okay. So we'll get to that. Maybe we'll video some of it. I don't know.
All right, let's go.
Do a little outdoor segment, but we'll see.
Oh, new show. Prove Wayne wrong. Saturday at 8.
There you go. There you go. The new version of This Old House.
This Old House. All right.
All right. Well, folks.
I hope it was a good show, everybody.
It was you. Thanks, Wayne. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the insight and all the information you bring to us every week and religiously every week. We appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. All right, folks. With all of that, don't forget to give our shout-outs. Of course, we have to do our shout-outs to our producing team, Wayne Rankin, Rosanna Rankin, Carolina Jimenez, Angela Watuski, and John Seeley. These folks are fantastic, man. And I'm not just saying that because Wayne's sitting in front of me, but the point of it is that without their support, whether it's their time, their talent, or their treasure, there's a lot of stuff on this show we wouldn't be able to do. So we greatly appreciate that. And if you want to help us out, if you want more information about how you can help us out and get part of the team, just head over to our website, joerooz.com/support. That's joerooz.com/support. When you get there, take a look around, and if there's any way that you are able to help us out, if you have the means to do it, pick one and join the party. And I am very pleased, by the way, to announce that IMDb, the International Movies Database or something like that, has approved our paperwork, and we are now officially listed on IMDb. That means that all of our executive producers are now officially listed on IMDb as producers of this show, which is a professional credential, which they can actually use on their resume if they want to. And I laugh because it's a great idea. I think it's fantastic. So congratulations, Wayne. You are now officially an executive producer of a show, and you have the credential in IMDb. You can go check it out yourself. I'll send you the link later, and you can take a look at that.
Real fast, I can't help it. I got to say this. For Bill, I'm going to look up some places that he can get dry foods that are made in America.
Okay, great. That's fantastic.
Yes. Okay, and I'm going to look up wherever he's at. I'll use your area. I'll use my area. Like you can go to national places that sell beans and whatever from America, or at least this part of the world.
I think when Bill sent his question, he sent through his email, so I can probably email him back and get his location and non-specific, of course, just where you are. So we'll definitely take care of that. All right. Well, with all of that said, I think it's about time for us to say adios.
And I will do it without the bluster.
Without the bluster. Another edition of Wednesdays with Wayne is in the books. Folks, thanks so much for being with us. Wayne, thanks for being here. Folks, don't forget the website, joerooz.com. That's joerooz.com. And, of course, please check out the website. All right? Very, very important. All right, folks, remember, make Texas independent again. Go podcasting. Keep a steady stride. And more important, folks, let's keep talking. God bless you. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.